And welcome to In-Game Chat for Saturday, November 15th, 2014. This is Season 8, Episode 46. I'm Scott.
I'm Dennis.
I'm Matt.
I'm RJ.
And I'm Nathan.
Hey, Matt. Welcome back.
Why, thank you.
We're going to get to Matt in just a second, but I kind of want to address everybody who is tuning in, wanting to hear Clearing the Air, which was the show that was on at this time slot as of last week. That show has not gone anywhere. It's just not in this time slot anymore. We switched our times. Clearing the Air with Terry Adams will be heard at 6 o'clock, so right after our show. But 6 o'clock tonight, he'll be back with Clearing the Air. And that comes on, again, right after our show. So we apologize to anybody who's tuning in, wanting to hear Clearing the Air. And they will not hear that until 6 o'clock tonight. But hey, stick around. Maybe you'll be interested in what we have to say. We are In-Game Chat. If you'd like to get in touch with us after that noise goes away... It's not you. This is my microphone. It's back now. Okay. I don't know what that was, but that was hard. You know what? We're also getting a new studio. A little bit later on in the year, we'll be getting a brand new studio so that we won't have problems like that. But anyway, welcome to the show. Thanks for joining us. This is our new time slot. Hopefully, I know we're going to catch some people who are going to miss this episode because they're going to forget about it or didn't know about it, but we welcome everybody for tuning in. I apologize for my voice. I have a very scratchy throat, and I'm not sick. I have not felt bad. I actually went to the doctor on Thursday. I'm taking antibiotics and stuff, but I actually feel okay. It's just my throat is really killing me. So,
How do they get a hold of us?
Yeah, no, we're getting into that. If you'd like to get in touch with us, our phone number is 334-272-9228. That is 334-272-9228. Check out ingamechat.net for all the links to get in touch with us. You can find us on Twitter at InGameChat as well as on Facebook. You can email us, everyone, at ingamechat.net. We're streaming the camera right now through Twitch. Head over to twitch.tv. Search for In-Game Chat. You will find us there. And you can join the chat room live while we broadcast with everybody else who is joining us this afternoon. We appreciate everybody for stopping in on Twitch and listening or just watching the stream. Whatever they're doing, we appreciate the company. So thank you very much for joining us. As you know, as you can see, as you've heard, Matt is back. I was unaware that you were coming back. In fact, we were talking about this a couple of times, a couple of previous episodes. We just, anybody know when Matt's getting back? And then nobody knew when you were getting back. So.
And then surprise.
Yeah, really. When did you get back?
Got back Sunday.
Okay, yeah. So you've been in town for a week. Well, that's good.
Now, are you back or are
Right.
you...
I'm back.
Excellent.
You're back, but you won't be here next week with
No,
us.
next week I'll be in California. I'm back, but I'm going again. Yeah. No, I'm visiting family out in California.
Okay, but that's not one of So you're here until the foreseeable future. For
Yes.
At least well into next year.
Yes.
You should be here unless obviously things change.
As with my job, everything is firm as Jello.
Yeah, exactly. So, but hey, we're glad you're back, man. I am glad
Thank
you're
you.
back. I did not think you'd be back, and so that gives us more to talk about and gives me more time to not talk about something because my throat hurts.
Yay.
But unfortunately, there's a whole lot to talk about. Thank you, Ubisoft, for doing that to us. Before we get into all of that, I'm going to put the spotlight back on Matt for a second and ask, I know normally we go around the room, we talk about what we played. Let me focus on you right now and ask you, what have you played? You've been back for a week. You probably haven't played much while you were away.
No. Well, I was away. Just the conditions over there with work was just tough, and the internet was spotty at best.
Right.
Unfortunately, the laptop that I brought with me, the hard drive, just took a dive, and all my Steam games.
Is that normally that big laptop you used to bring in here?
Yeah, that thing, the one with the the
gone
Harrier
away
sounding.
now. Yeah.
The jet engine
Yes,
intake on it?
That's the one. Yeah, the hard drive just kind of went out, and all my Steam games got uninstalled. So now I'm in the process of reinstalling. I'm going through right now the games I bought while I was there because I haven't had a chance to play them yet. So once I download those and get some time in with that, then I'll refill my back library.
Wonderful. What have you touched on anything? Have you?
Alien Isolation.
That's it.
Yeah, that's that.
Well, you pre-ordered it.
I did.
PC or console?
On the console, on the PS4, and I also beat Ground Zeroes.
Okay.
A little late, but
So
Well, there's like a number of different ways you can go about Ground Zeroes, I believe. I mean, obviously
I
you
think
beat
so.
the you do the main campaign, and then all these other challenges and all these
Yeah.
other scenarios show up. So there's a lot going on for that, and I believe it's getting a PC release here in the next couple of weeks. I believe into December it's getting.
Yeah,
a
because
PC.
think
it's
so.
getting a release before 5
Before
comes
Phantom
out.
Pains?
Yes.
Yeah, and I'm looking forward to giving that a go again and put a little bit more time into it and doing some of those challenges that were there.
Yeah.
I didn't have
Some
it
of the
for very
challenges
long.
I did, not even knowing that they were challenges. Like I took out all the anti-aircraft, and just because it was something to do. But yeah, I enjoyed that.
All right, so Alien Isolation, how have you
Yes.
enjoyed that? How much have you put into that?
Just a little bit. I haven't even really met the alien yet in this main storyline.
And yet it's already better than Colonial Marines.
Yes, it is. I went ahead and loaded up one of the DLCs for it, which sets you. I think it was like the crew expendable. It's you're basically play as one of the characters from the original movie Alien. You could either be Ripley, Dallas, or Parker. And it was the section in the movie where you're supposed to where Dallas is trying to trap the alien and flush it out the airlock. So I'm like, oh, let me be Dallas. And it's neat being hearing. I think they actually got Tom Skerritt and Yaphet Kotto and Sigourney Weaver. They got the voice actors back for it, which was nice. But for me, just walking around the Nostromo, I've seen those movies a lot. I'm a big fan, and so being able to just stumble around in that environment, in first person, that's I like that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Because I've spent so much time, just watching it, to be able to walk between the hallways and everything, kind of have an idea where things are at already, just from watching the movie so many times. I really enjoyed it. Then the alien came, and I tried to be quiet, and it didn't matter, and it still killed me.
Scary? Tense?
Tense, I would say.
Yeah.
Because you're like, all right, gotta be quiet. Peek out a little bit.
It was extremely tense. The little I played at E3 and PAX, I did not feel afraid as much as I just felt the tension was really, really. They really did a good job with that. However, with the complaints that I've heard of that is that there's only so much that works for you.
Yeah.
Because that's all it ever is kind of trying to stay away from.
That's what the first movie was.
Yeah.
That I could appreciate it for that because it's not like Colonial Marines was trying to be more like Aliens, where you have firepower, you have a whole bunch of aliens, and I could see where they were trying to be.
The first movie's like 2 hours.
Yeah.
They've stretched this
And
into like a
it's-
5-6 hour game.
Yeah, and it's a lot of cat and mouse like
Yeah.
that, so I could appreciate what they're doing.
Which
with
I
it.
haven't put in the time to play it to say that it's good or bad in that regard. So
Yeah.
I'm not trying to sway any one way or another. I was just curious if you would come up with that. How much time have you? Probably haven't put in that much time with
Oh
it.
no, probably about like an hour or so.
Yeah.
Just wandering around.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
And the thing I find myself, I was saying this before the show that I know I'm going to enjoy it, just because I know how I am and I like this game. It's just right now it's not quite sinking its claws into me because I'm not there right now. I want something a little bit more mindless and splody bang, you know. So that's why I pre-ordered the GTA 5 on the PS4. And I'll run through that again because you don't have to think about things. You just drive around and rob people. So that's I think I'll that's kind of where I'm at right now.
Yeah.
Or I'm also I just downloaded the Borderlands pre-sequel. So I'll give that a run.
Is that PC?
Yeah,
Okay.
I like the Borderlands series.
Yeah, I might actually. Well, no, that's last gen. I forgot about that.
Yeah, it's
I was like,
PS,
I might pick that up on Black Friday because it's going to be on sale. And then I was like, no, that's
PS3.
yeah, it's PS3 and
Xbox.
360.
Yeah,
It's your
so-
kryptonite.
Unless, well, it is at the moment because I don't have them hooked up.
Yeah,
I don't have those systems hooked up to my set. Although I'm planning on making that change around Black Friday actually and putting those up in the bedroom. But
okay.
so I might be back on that. I don't necessarily know that would be one I would jump into.
And of course, on GOG, I picked up X-Wing and TIE Fighter.
Of course you did.
I'll say we saw
That
that
day-
announcement. It was like
Yes, that day. I as soon as I got a text,
you'll be like in the middle of the desert searching for a signal or something.
That's exactly what it was. I got a text from James, like in Afghanistan, saying, "Hey, X-Wing and TIE Fighter are coming out on GOG. Come home." I'm like, "Oh my gosh!"
Yeah, LucasArts just
So-
gonna roll into GOG there with a bunch of stuff. So.
I'm glad. Maybe
I know.
See, I hope this will. I kind of hope they also release Alliance. That would be nice. But maybe this will get people thinking about space sims again and how much fun they
Well-
are.
Well,
and-
again, you haven't been around for a little bit, but
Maybe we need
there's a
one.
couple on the list. I mean,
that's
obviously
good.
the big one is Star Citizen. That's the
yeah,
one drawing the most
I'm
money.
Still waiting.
Yeah, Elite Dangerous is one that's getting a lot of press. as
Elite
well.
Dangerous comes out in
December.
In December. James is all in for that one, and then oh god, the one that I played at PAX that I am completely.
I completely blanked out. I know exactly which one you're talking
Uh-huh.
about. It's a star something, I'm sure.
It is. It is. And I was playing it on the Oculus.
Okay.
Um,
Like when I was there, man, I was really just wanting free space. If they could ever release free space on like Steam or GOG
Yeah.
or anywhere digital distribution, like the only way I could find it was in ordering it off of Amazon.
well, not free
You know?
space, but I believe.
I mean,
it-
freelancer. That's the freelancer. I'm
freelancer,
sorry.
yeah. Not
Yeah.
freelancer, but I believe that at PAX Australia, that Pitchford was down there and showed a little bit of Homeworld,
Oh yeah, that new Homeworld redo.
Yeah.
That looks really nice.
which
I
means
just
they're still
wanted-
working on it.
I just wanted like an open world. That's what I loved about Freelancer. Just that open world space, flying around, exploration. I want something like that.
Yeah, I know. I understand. Yeah, I would love Colony Wars.
Oh yeah,
Is what I would really like to get back into. I enjoyed that so much. I didn't know much of what I was doing when I played it. That was my first experience with any kind of space flight type simulator situation. Not very big on the simulation part of
Yeah.
it, but it still provided that sense of disorientation, I suppose,
Yeah,
of being where there is no up or down, or there is no
yeah.
there is.
It's all relative.
Yeah, exactly.
It was great.
And it was a fantastic feeling when I first experienced it back on the what was that? That was regular
PS1.
That was just the PlayStation.
They had a game out around that same time. I remember 99 E3 called G Police. That was a lot of fun. You were living, I think, on Mars or something like that, and you had these domes that you could like travel between. You're like a police in a little hover car, and yeah, I kind of wish something like that would come back out, or just anything flight sim space thing.
Well, it's like I said, Star Citizen, a couple of those things coming out like that. It's by no means, it's by no means your FPS military shooter type stuff as far as the amount of releases.
Yeah.
But they're there. They're gonna get a lot more press and hopefully a lot more people playing them. And so, if for some reason that can be revived, of course, like we said, Gearbox has that Homeworld game. No idea when it's due, but if they're working on it, then we'll hear more about it, and that will get the ball rolling in a sense. So,
Can I say real quick?
what?
When I was waiting for the plane ride out of Qatar back home, I was at the USO just buying my time, and they had an Xbox 360 set up, and not to sound too cheesy, but I checked out Crackdown, and I just like sit there and played it, and just like listening to that opening theme and everything. I'm like, oh man, I kind of miss these guys. So it's good to be back with y'all.
Well, we're glad you're back. Glad you're back safe. Glad everything is good for you, and glad you'll be on the show, except for next week's show.
Yeah.
You won't be on, but we'll see. Goodness.
You already know. You're
10
looking at-
minutes until 10 minutes until we have to take a break, and I don't have enough time to talk about what I want to talk about as far as Ubisoft Ubisoft is concerned, or to really go into what everybody else has been playing. We already know what Dennis has been playing. He's been playing Rebirth.
Lots and lots of Rebirth, man. It's just so good.
RJ, what have you put your time into, real quick?
I got together with some friends of mine again for the week and played some more Ultra Street Fighter 4. We had a nice time out there playing some first to 3, first to 5 matches. It was really nice. I mean, we should honestly consider videotaping this and streaming or something out there. Maybe we can get some hookup at the bar and probably make that happen. But outside of that, also I've been still playing Dead Space 3 on impossible difficulty, because I've been prepping myself to play hardcore mode, which means go through without dying. So I've been trying to get myself familiar with it. So I figured kill 2 birds with one stone, get all the hard and impossible difficulty out the way to prep myself for it. And I'm starting to remember all these wonderful things that I had forgotten the last time I played this game, like the optional missions.
The side quests,
the side
essentially.
quests, optional missions and whatnot. I think I've died about 20-something times on this mission on Impossible. It was a trip to the waste disposal set of Tal Volantis. And in order to get to this supply lift that has the items that you're looking for, you have to go through 4 waves of necromorphs consecutively back to back to back.
Were these the ones where you have to either be quiet or avoid them?
No, there's no avoiding this one. You're in this little rectangular room with multiple paths and steps. And
I know which one you're talking about now.
You got the normal ones. You have the black covered ones, the ones that are more durable than the others.
Mm-hmm.
You got the little stick figure skeletal ones that'll jump on your back and try to pull your helmet off. Those guys, they'll swarm you. And you also have my favorite, the ones with the big yellow bomb on their arm. Who makes that nice little noise, that recognizable noise that'll always train you to start turning a 360 looking for where they're coming from. Because most times I died was always because I heard that one little shriek and then boom, and I did because they came in the vent behind me while I was busy trying to stasis or hold the others at bay. Here comes one right behind me, stuck behind me. One turn and boom, that's it, dead.
Mm-hmm.
Start over again. So I'm going through all that. Finally got past that. Like I said, 20 deaths over through that point. Now I'm at the point where I'm chasing after Danik through the city, through the alien city. So I'm not that far from the end. So, but after that, I should be going through hardcore mode, trying to go through that.
Can you even do hardcore mode with co-op, or is that just a single player thing? Do you even know?
I'm not sure. I never tried co-op for Dead Space. I know it's option available. I don't know if anyone's available for it. If there's a AI part, maybe. Is there? I don't know if there's an AI co-op thing in there.
There's no AI. It's strictly drop in, drop out.
Drop in, drop out. Okay. Well, yeah, I've never had an opportunity to play it then that way.
And James and I played that Wii version of Dead Space. I can't remember what it was.
Extraction.
Oh my god, that was great. We loved it.
Yeah, because that was more of a House of Dead style.
It was thing, couch co-op. It was on-rail shooter, but we loved it. God, we loved it. We loved every bit of it. Yeah.
Wasn't the PS3 version of, was it 2, had the extraction in it?
I think so.
I want to say you're right about that. I believe... I don't know about PS2. I think it had
PS3.
the move.
I mean, PS3, yeah.
Yeah. I think you have to have,
you had to have the move.
Because I know I played it. I did play a little bit of Extraction. Not much of it. I mean, it wasn't my cup of tea, but it was available for me. I think it wasn't too. But either way, I did play it before.
Yeah, because Extraction and Overkill, House of Dead Overkill, came over to the PS3.
Right.
Doing that.
Yeah. But outside of that, I haven't been playing it, but I've been watching it. I was watching some playthroughs of Five Nights at Freddy's 2. I was looking at that, and it's funny how Scott Cawthon has made the game more stressful, more tense, more stressful.
Doors?
Yeah,
you don't need doors at all.
Yeah, no doors, more ways for them to come in, and if I'm not mistaken, 10 or 11 animatronics you have to deal with in this one.
Yeah, because
as opposed to 4.
It's the new 5. It's the new set and the old set.
Yeah,
right?
it's the original 4: Bonnie, Chica, Freddy, and Foxy, and then you have the toy versions. Yeah, you have a golden Freddy.
Yeah, so that'd be the 5th one.
Yeah,
well, he was
Easter egg.
Yeah, he's
Easter egg
type bug type thing in the first
he
one.
crashes the game. But Golden Freddy's in there, the original 4 in there, and then you have the toy versions of each one.
Which those are the more like kind of plasticine looking ones we saw in the trailer.
The super kid friendly, the way they try to describe it in the game. And you have this balloon boy, the little boy looks like Pinocchio holding balloons. He comes in.
Is he the one? He doesn't attack you, but he disables.
He doesn't attack you.
Switches?
He doesn't attack you, but if he's able to get in the room, your lights don't work. Your flashlight doesn't work.
Yeah, and
anymore.
the flashlight is kind of like one of your main ways to drive.
Flashlight
them off
is a way to keep them at bay. So if the flashlight doesn't work, then they can just free to come in there and do whatever they want. The building doesn't lose power anymore. That's a good thing, but it's just your flashlight. The only thing that loses power is your flashlight. So when it's gone, it's gone. There's no way to get that back.
And you have flashlights on each of the cameras.
Yeah, flashlights on each camera. I think you just hit the control key to make the cameras flash. So you got to look in. There's more places to look. More places to look in the building. You also have to look inside the vents because they'll be coming in through the vents as well. And your only defense is that empty Freddy head. I think it's because of people suggesting why don't I just wear a Fazbear, Freddy Fazbear suit?
Because the excuse is that what the animatronics are trying to do to you is they see you as an animatronic without their suit, and so they want to stuff you in a suit that's full of metal and wires, and pretty much the only thing they'll ever see the live day again is your eyes and teeth if they manage to pull that off.
Yeah. But you go through all that, and it's I was looking through the ways. It was just a real lot of resource management he had to do. Take care of the lights. Look at this. Look at that. Go from here. Go from there. Back and forth real quick. And
there's
also
the music box.
And the music box. There's also a music box in one of the rooms, the prize counter, and there's an animatronic like a Jack in the Box, sitting there asleep. And if the music box is off for a long amount of time, he'll become active and start come looking for you. So you're gonna have to like go there and manually wind up the box and make sure it's still fully wound up so it can keep playing. And there's a little meter on your screen. It'll let you know when it's running out. It'll go yellow, then it'll go red, and it's like warning you to get back in there.
But you have to do that while the other animatronics are all attacking.
You have to be aware all the other animatronics are attacking you as well. I mean, 10, 11 of them. As opposed to 4 to 5. I'm like, goodness, man. No doors, just one flashlight, and that's it. We had the same thing. 5 nights at the beginning, then you got the 6 and 7. And I saw the custom night for 7. There is a 20 modes for like everyone. So there's like 10 different levels of AI you could set for these guys. But it looks like it would be fun. I was trying to pick it up, but I didn't see it until you let me know that it was now available. When I searched for it last time, it didn't show up on my
because it was a thing where like they were supposed to release the demo this week, and something happened where it couldn't come out. So they were like, let's just throw the entire game out there.
Yeah.
And so it's out there now.
Yeah. So eventually I'll pick that up and start playing that. And Scott, you just reminded me of about Steam, all the sales they do like every other week or so. So once a blue moon,
I'll say winter sales are around the corner in a month.
Yeah, Thanksgiving will be probably the next one would be my guess.
Yeah, and it's $8 right now, right?
Yeah,
like
$8.
Said, $8 right now. So maybe drop to 4 to 5 or whatever. But either way, I'll be picking it up soon.
Yeah. Nathan, real quick over to you. What's been on your list as far as what have you been playing?
Binding of Isaac as well.
Right. Okay.
Been enjoying that. It's a really fun game. Been playing some Hearthstone again. Just getting back into that. I've always enjoyed that.
Did you get into Draenor?
I haven't.
Okay.
I don't
didn't
have
know.
the time for that right now.
All right. No, that's
But
understandable.
you have picked it up, right?
No, I haven't.
Oh, really? Okay.
Definitely, I plan on doing it once Christmas break comes.
I was thinking maybe like a collector's edition or something to go for.
Usually I buy that already used. I don't ever buy them. I just buy it for the item. I don't buy it for the game keys and stuff,
What's the level cap up to?
100.
100.
Okay, wow.
100.
And you could basically get a free boost to 90 if you buy it right now.
And then I've been playing Heroes of the Storm as well again. I've been trying to get back into that. Different change of pace, for all the other games. But other than that, just really been playing Blizzard games and then Binding of Isaac. So
hey, good choices.
Yeah.
As for myself, well, before I get to the bad, which we'll get to the bad after we come back from break here. Before I get to bad, let me get to the good. Puzzle fans, any of you out there who are puzzle fans, you have a lot to look forward to. There's a game on iOS that was just released called Framed. I played this at PAX when I went there. It was part of the PAX 10. This is a game I would have done a video on and would have talked about a lot more about it, except for the fact that it is on iOS and I have no way to really record iOS footage and that sort of stuff. And I didn't have any B-roll at the time. But this is a fantastic little game. It is. Look up the trailer. Just go to YouTube, look up Framed iOS game, and look at the trailer. It is a puzzle-type game that gives you a series of, like, comic book boxes in like a strip, and they're animated. But you can move the panels around to change what happens in the story. So, in other words, your guy's, like, evading the police. He just stole some stuff, and he's evading the police. And he jumps out on this wire and rappels down it. Well, if you switch 2 panels, then he won't activate, or I say activate, he won't run into a pigeon that's sitting on the wire. It'll be in a different screen where you get shot at by the police. And if that bird's in the way, then you don't get shot. So there's a couple different ways that you can change the outcome of how the story flows. And like I said, it's on iOS right now. That is Framed. That's a great one. Also, puzzle fans, a free game, if you'd like to try it out, is called The Talos Principle. It's a public test that they're doing. This is a full game that will be released in December. But right now there is a kind of a demo. They call it a public test. I'm not exactly sure why. I think it's something that is falling into the lore of the game itself. Sort of, what's a term that I can put that in, or what's something I can compare that to? I'm not really sure how I can compare it. There's no real reason that a public test needs to be done for this game, but that's what they're calling it. They could have just called it a demo, but there's something else going on with whatever they're doing. This is a very mysterious type game with what's happening in it, but it is full of puzzles. It is nothing but puzzles. That's all it is, and it is a fantastic puzzle game. The guys who made Serious Sam are the guys behind this. It's Crow Team who made it, and the writer is the guy who wrote The Swapper and FTL, I believe. FTL, maybe? I could be wrong on that. But I know he did write The Swapper, and he is writing this. It's philosophical, and it's got all these questions of existence and AI and stuff like that. But it's fantastic. I am actually playing the full game right now, and it just goes so much deeper. Very Portal-esque, I would say. Not in the way you saw puzzles. There aren't portals like that, but just in the whole layout of everything. It's very Portal-esque, and it's excuse me, it is extremely well done. And as far as puzzles go, fantastic. So there's the good. We'll get into the bad next. If you would like to get into the bad with us, because I'm sure you have your own experiences, we would love to hear from you and what those are about. 334-272-9228 is the phone number. We'll give a quick rundown of the chat room roll call here. Medusa's Mirror is in there. Quiet Hype 2. W. Matthew. Defcon Red 18. Multile. SZ3TH. Arioka. AC Slice 84. Grazit. Chargers 3158. AC Wraith. STM Fuller. Darkslayer 44. ICT 2. 3 Blades. There's a lot of people in the chat room. Mozgus is in there, Lavos as well, Wolfie 2554, and Tacitus 59 in the chat room as well. James is hanging out in the chat room, I see also. James, of course, as you can tell, folks watching and probably listening, he is not with us today. And we'll see him eventually, hopefully, soon, but not going to be this week. But we are glad to have Matt as a substitute. So thanks for coming back, and yeah, so we'll be back in a bit. I want to thank also Gersnort for sending in some new music. So all the tracks that you will hear during tonight's show are brand new, thanks to Gersnort and Daniel Phelps for sending in some new tracks for us. So we're going to come back and talk about Ubisoft and Assassin's Creed Unity and all the words that I wish I could say but can't on the radio about what's going on with that situation. We'll be back with more in-game chat in just a moment. Here's music from Donkey Kong Country 3. It is Crazy Calypso. We'll be right back. And welcome back to In-Game Chat. Is that your comment in the chat room, Nate? This is so depressing.
It
is that related to this music?
No. Well, yeah, the song.
Oh,
yeah,
or did you mean the conversation?
No,
that was
song.
going
The
on?
song.
Yeah. Excuse me.
I think it could be both.
Are you familiar with the track?
No.
Okay.
I don't even know what it is.
Are any of you familiar
Mega
with this
Man.
track? All right, Mega Man. Mega Man is always the answer to that question. That's from Amnesia.
Ugh.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, exactly. Good.
I should know that. I've beaten that.
Yeah, that was a track from Amnesia called Lux, and I'm gonna screw up the other part of that. Tenebras, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, sure.
We'll go with that.
We'll go with that and just let it be done it that way. So that was another track sent in by Gersnort. Thank you guys for sending that in. If you guys have some music you want to send in, please make it MP3 format and send it to everyone at ingamechat.net. If you could do that, and then we will try and have it in as soon as we can. But thanks for doing that. Let's get on with the topic at hand. Ubisoft.
They didn't do anything this week, did they?
See, they're doing they did something this past week, and then they're doing something this week too.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like polar opposites of each other, and which only goes to raise the suspicion on things.
All right, so get specific. What is the issue at hand?
Well, there's a couple. Number one, Assassin's Creed Unity is pure, and where's my button that makes a beep noise?
Yeah.
Because I really want to say it.
A load of hot garbage.
It is crap.
The phrase you're looking for.
It is a huge steaming pile of crap.
Are we talking worse than 3?
Well, that remains to be seen because I haven't played very much of
Well,
AC
I'm
Unity.
seeing a lot of complaints about.
The problem with AC Unity, and like 3 has its issues as far as storytelling and game mechanics and everything else.
Yeah.
Unity has its issues because it is a buggy mess.
It's broken.
Yeah, I've seen things about falling through the world, skins not being rendered properly on people.
Yeah, I
things
saw
that.
like just eyes and teeth.
Yeah, it seems like this was a game that needed a bit more baking in the oven. It looks
Yeah.
like.
My favorite glitch is during one of the cutscenes, like the people that walk around the village just all of a sudden appear in the cutscene and just start talking. So then you can't even hear the main story of them talking because they're talking over it. And it's like, what's going on here?
Yeah, of all the bug videos that I've seen, I haven't seen some of the more high profile ones where the face textures are gone and it's just the eyes and the teeth and hair. I haven't had that issue. I haven't had crowd pop-in issue I've had, not during cutscenes. But again, I'm not very far into it, so I haven't had a lot of cutscenes to have to deal with where that might be showing up. I believe I am at the third memory sequence, the beginning of the third memory sequence. And so I'm not very far at all. And I'll tell you why I'm not very far. That game takes forever to load. I am playing it on PS4. I don't know.
And that even like you install it, right?
Yeah, it installs.
And it still takes forever.
Oh my God, man. It takes way too long. Longer than a game should, because I
Yeah.
get bored sitting there waiting for this thing to load. Now, I believe it's loading the entire city of Paris that they have built in the game, because I don't think nothing is cut off from you. Everything's open from the beginning. So it depends. Like if you quit out of the game in the middle of the city, loading into the game is going to take forever. If you quit out of the game while you're in the your assassin's lair or something that you have to load into to get to, it doesn't take as long to load. But as soon as you leave and go back out into the city, it takes forever to load. Cutscenes do the same thing because they have to load the environment and everything else whenever it uses the city like that. And I will give them credit. The city is beautiful. The city, when you do that, when you do the synchronize from a viewpoint, whatever they're called now, when it does that little rotation and backs away and shows you all of the stuff that you've revealed, it's amazing. It's just gigantic what they built as far as Paris is concerned. And I'll give that's about the only credit I can give to them. The rest of it is really just horrible, and I hate to say it, man. I'm a huge fan of the Assassin's Creed series. I always have been, and 3 had its problems.
Yeah.
And James hates it a lot more than I do, and I think there's a lot of other people who hate it probably a lot more than I do as well, and that's fine. It's not my favorite of the series, obviously. There's a lot that aren't my favorite of the series, but none have turned me off of the series as much as Unity has, and it's really sad because there's the setting is really good for them. I think Paris during the French Revolution is fantastic place. I think that's a great place to do what they want to do. The buildings and the way that they've found a city again feels so much more like it was with Rome.
In Brotherhood?
In 2, yeah. Assassin's Creed 2 and Brotherhood. It feels so much like that. And it was nice to get back to that after going to...
Wilderness and...
The wilderness, the pirate
Ocean,
ships.
yeah.
And everything else. It feels so much nice to get back into that. And it feels like they've got a great setting here. And they've got a lot to work with in that setting, in that time period, and everything that they're trying to do. I think is great if it all worked.
Yeah.
If it would all just work, and it doesn't. Now, this is only on PS4 that I'm having my issues, but PC has had their own problems. I did not get it on PC. This is so there's my problems with the game. Again, I'm not very far into it, but I don't think I'm going to get very far into it because of the amount of time I have to put into just to load the game. Is horrible. It is so bad.
That's something I want to ask you. When you say forever, you mean we talking minutes here to load here, or
I would say at least 60 seconds. At least
60 seconds.
And I know that
okay.
maybe to some people that's like, 60 seconds.
No.
It is.
I know. Think about it. Yeah, think about you may not think it's a long time, but count it down a second at a time. That's how long it takes.
It takes a good while.
Yeah.
Trust me, on my elliptical, 60 seconds takes a very long time. Also, you forget how. I never realized until I started working at in radio and records and stuff like that, or having songs on and things. I didn't realize how long a minute was, man.
Yeah.
Minute.
Yeah.
I got time to get up, do a couple of things, and then come back. It's actually a lot longer than you might think. But but yeah, so 60 seconds for a thing. That's my best guess. It could actually be longer than that. It feels too long, and I believe it is, for it to do the loading for some of these things. So
Well, then it gets loaded, and then you have bugs, or you fall through the world, or
there's
what
plenty
have you.
of bugs. There's bugs where guys don't see you and you're right in front of their face. There's plenty of bugs where the sword doesn't connect when you're making a thing. Although the animation of the guy that you just hit makes... He goes into what he needs to go into, but my sword is not actually touching him whatsoever. So there is that. I haven't had any audio issues. The when the facial textures work during cutscenes, they're fantastic looking. They're great, better than they've ever looked on an Assassin's Creed game. But I just find myself not wanting to go through this. I just don't.
That's a shame.
I don't want to go through this. I did one of the time anomaly things, whatever they are.
Yeah, where you go to other points in Paris history.
I should say, I believe the only reason, I will say this, the only reason they put that in is because they're in Paris.
And they need the Eiffel Tower.
They needed the Eiffel Tower. And they were in a time frame when the Eiffel Tower wasn't there.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, we can't leave this area without putting the Eiffel Tower in. So how are we going to get it in? And that is the only reason I believe that they ever did that, was so that they could have that in there and have you actually climb the Eiffel Tower. So,
I was looking at the chat room here. W. Matthew says AC Unity needed like 6 months of optimization and bug testing.
I think it needed a lot more. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
it needed. You talk about more time in the oven. I think this needed to cook for another year.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Because the way the description's going here, it feels like a rush job.
no, it is a rush job. They have to do an annual release, man, and they could have just stuck it. They could have just said, "Let's just stick with Rogue. Let's just stick with Rogue. That's out on the the last gen systems. Let's port it over to the new gens." You know, that's fine. Let's just stick with that, and then let's work on Unity a little bit more, and a little bit longer. And I think it should have been I think it should be released next year and not this year. But their annualization of this franchise has killed it. And I know for a lot of people, it killed it a long time ago before Unity.
Yeah, I'll say
Yeah.
3 kind of did me in.
Yeah, and I'm not saying it wasn't redeemed by 4. 4 was much better than 3. But it's still lost whatever it was from Assassin's Creed and Assassin's Creed 2. However, for me, I was able to stick with them up until Unity, and I just don't think it's going to work for me. It's not, and man, that makes me actually sad to say, because I've really been a fan of this series. I really have.
Did you do the PSP? Liberty or
Liberation?
Liberation? No, I did not do. I have it. I just never did it.
Okay.
And now that it's on PC, I'm probably going to try and wait for a sale and go back to that. Maybe. I don't even know. Probably not.
Well, and hopefully eventually they'll port Rogue over as well.
Well, Rogue is getting a PC release next year, I believe, the beginning of next year, I believe. I thought it was announced that Rogue was getting a PC release. Here's the weird thing about Rogue. Here's spoilers, by the way, for Rogue.
Yeah, sure, go ahead.
And it'll also spoil into Unity. So I want to put that out there up front. Rogue, Assassin's Creed Rogue and Assassin's Creed Unity are connected.
Okay.
The final mission of Rogue is
the
first cutscene that happens in Unity.
Oh, interesting.
Yes. That's all I'll say. Maybe that wasn't too much. Maybe that was enough to stay away from spoilers.
Yeah, it doesn't really tell me anything, at least.
But wouldn't that have been great to be able to play Rogue this year?
And then next year,
and then
boom,
next year,
right into it?
you go right into this, and you're like, oh, wow, that's exactly what I just...
I see what you guys
this,
did.
Just, this is where we just left off.
Yeah.
But they put you in a position where some people will never get to experience that because they aren't... I mean, obviously, maybe they will port this over to the next-gen systems. I believe it would be good of them to do that right now, given the bad press that they've gotten out of Unity and the actual okay press that they've gotten out of Rogue.
Yeah, I haven't even heard word one about all the touted co-op features of Unity. Like, the bugs and everything is just overshadowed that tremendously.
Yeah. Well, and it goes beyond just the bugs. Because now you heard about the embargo.
Yeah, the review embargo wasn't lifted until, noon of release day?
12 hours after release. The embargo was for 12 hours after the game released. And let me go into what an embargo is for anybody that may not know, anybody who's listening and doesn't know. I know there are plenty of people in the chat room probably know exactly what an embargo is. And if not, then you probably know by now because this has been discussed this week. It's kind of been in the topic of conversation. An embargo is something set by the publishers when they send out review copies to gaming sites and what have you. There will be an embargo that you have to agree to if you are going to review the game, that you cannot release it for whatever time they have set. This is done for many reasons. This is fine. Embargoes are not bad. The dates set by embargoes can be bad, but in the grand scheme of things, embargoes are not bad. Dragon Age Inquisition, its embargo was this week. It was like Tuesday of this week. Mm-hmm. Game doesn't come out until next Tuesday, or this coming Tuesday. That's a fantastic embargo. It gives a week for a review. That gives reviews to get published, and it gives a week for customers to read the reviews, make up their mind, figure out which way they want to go with it. And that's part of what an embargo is set to do. It's also set so that one website doesn't
spoil it for everyone.
Rush through the game and be the first one to get it out. If they give you the review materials at enough time, then everybody has their review set to go at the same exact time, and so nobody gets an edge on that. Nobody gets to have to rush through a game and give a unsubstantial review of a copy of a game. So embargoes aren't the bad thing. Embargoes set close to the release date. There's a lot of embargoes that are on the day before game releases. That's pushing it. I'd like it a little bit further back, but it's okay. That's not ideal. But anytime you set an embargo after a game is released, that's bad. That should not happen. Sites and stuff, they should not review games if that's the case.
Well, I mean, in particular, that's so that way the publisher can go ahead and have those lovely, lovely pre-purchase dollars, and you aren't getting that back once the game releases.
That's a lot of the reason that it's done by publishers. Is like, we'll do it, and a lot of them don't go beyond the release date.
Yeah,
it's very rare that they go beyond the release date. They just do it the day before, because that's still enough time that they've gotten the pre-order money that they need and that sort of stuff, and to say that, hey, our sales were great. I don't understand. You can pre-order any time unless, of course, you're on PC. That's the only place that they can really get you is on PC. Mm-hmm. You can't cancel a pre-order on PC. but any store around town, Amazon, any place else, I can cancel my pre-order regardless of when you've set that embargo date before the game releases. But 12 hours after the game released, and then you get all these reviews bashing how buggy this thing is, low scores all over the place, and then things start to look a little suspect. Like you knew this was going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
I would like review embargoes to become public knowledge.
Yeah, like the terms behind them.
I would like, well, it's not necessarily terms. I'd just like to know when we're going to be getting the reviews, if that's the case. I didn't know. Apparently, the Unity plays a little bit better on Xbox One than it does PS4.
Huh.
I would have liked to have known that before picking the game up on PS4.
Yeah.
Just a little bit better. I'm not saying it's any better than it is on either system, but
Well, you know,
it's a tiny bit better.
I've always understood that with the whole embargo thing that you have that because the people are given the game early to review.
Mm-hmm.
So not being able to release the review 12 hours after the game's already out, I mean, that kind of defeats the whole purpose of that. Because the review comes out.
Well, yeah. By then, the public's already got their.
Exactly,
The public. Yeah, I mean.
That's just,
yeah,
that
that'll
shouldn't be
hurt
a
your
thing.
game sites, but that's beneficial to.
Yeah, exactly. But I'm
Ubisoft.
saying, like, to me, you should never agree to that
Right.
because you know when that date is. You know.
Yeah, or make it known that, hey, we got our copies in, but you will not see a review for this until
Yeah.
such and such time. We don't feel like
Which
that's
comes to your public knowledge that
Right.
should be posted.
That's
hey,
why I'm saying that we should know when these things are.
Yeah.
Because I tell you, man, all last week I kept, or all this past week, Monday I was like, all right, where's the reviews? Okay, I guess I'll get them in the morning. You know, I'll wake up I get up at 4:30, and even then I'll see reviews that were posted at midnight or whatever time, Pacific time, that the embargoes have lifted. So I didn't see that with AC Unity. I didn't see anything until around 11 o'clock the next morning. For the reviews on the game, and it was being bashed all over the place. And the other part is, I didn't see any tweets, I didn't see any other mentions
Yeah, it
from
was
anybody
silent.
that had this stuff saying, "Hey guys, our review's coming, but we should really, there's problems with this game."
Yeah.
They didn't say nothing, probably because the embargo contract says you can't talk about
Not a
this.
word.
Well, and also not to get too terribly conspiracy theory about this, but maybe it tied into getting early copies of Far Cry 4 as well.
Maybe, I don't know.
I mean, that's
Well, it
just
it
pure
can't really,
supposition.
because Far Cry 4 reviews were released this week.
Mm-hmm.
Their embargo was already up. So their embargo, I think, lifted on Thursday or Friday for Far Cry 4. I can't remember. But it was not enough time for them to... In other words, I don't know when they got AC Unity in, but Far Cry 4 they probably would have gotten last week or the week before to start working on it. To go through it and do whatever they had to do, and then get the review written and ready to go.
Yeah, it was Wednesday.
It was Wednesday was when it was lifted. So Tuesday. See here, this is how it sort of contradicts themselves.
Yeah, big time.
AC Unity, we will release the embargo 12 hours after the game has been in stores on shelves and available for purchase. Far Cry 4 doesn't come out until Tuesday. We'll go ahead and release that embargo on Wednesday. And by the way, it's gotten some fairly positive reviews.
Yeah, 9s.
It's gotten very good reviews for Far Cry 4. Although some places, some publications, some websites have decided not to publish their review because the online aspect is not working just yet.
Oh, they'll wait until that's done and then
To give a full review.
To me, that's two separate things. So
yeah.
There's some issues in that. I think you can go ahead and review a game and say, look at Co-Optimus. They review the co-op of a game. They really can only do that until after the game's released, for the most part.
I was going to say, several sites for Destiny were doing like weekly reviews of what they'd gone through.
There's
for
another
months.
aspect of how reviews have to be done to get the information out of there on something like Destiny, which is a very long in process type situation, especially when it's a game built for, what did they say, thousands, hundreds of thousands,
Thousands
or
of people,
something?
we won't know how it goes until it releases.
Something like that, yeah. They threw out some BS.
I do want to say one thing though. The developers are the same people who made the same game, correct? Unity and Far Cry 4.
No.
They're not.
No,
Both published by Ubisoft.
they're published by Ubisoft.
Okay, well, on here it said they're both Montreal, Ubisoft Montreal.
Is it both
But what I will say is they're
Okay.
both different engines,
They are, yeah.
and that could somewhat play a role into it. One game could be a lot easier to program. I'm not saying that's an excuse, but it's made by the same studio, which is, well, at least on here it says that. So
Yeah, I have to say that
did they just put their time?
they know what they're doing.
No, yeah.
Ubisoft knows what they're doing on that, and they knew that they knew things were wrong with Assassin's Creed. They knew it.
But they had to ship regardless because yearly Creed.
I suppose, I guess. Why? They had Rogue.
Yeah.
Why not just let that be your release of the year and port it to your next gens? Just like you did with Black Flag last year.
Yeah.
You did your both systems. You did your last gens and your current gens. Why not do it again?
There's a reason for everything.
What was so big about, hey, we got to have this, we got to have Unity out with this release. We got to have that. What was the deal with that? I really, really, really would like to know. I hate to get all... obviously, this is the time slot of the old conspiracy theory show, and I hate to get on those type of things, but just something about it feels...
Something there.
It feels corporate, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
But how good of a service do you do your company when all of a sudden you start getting compared to being the next EA or the new EA, which I believe was in Forbes.
Yeah,
it was a Forbes magazine column saying, "Congratulations, Ubisoft, you are the new EA for what they did on this." It's really
Yeah, I'll say we haven't even talked about the microtransactions in Unity yet either.
well. There's another one, man.
Oh,
It's like
they have micro?
it's like one thing after another.
And that was the first thing patched.
Of course,
Yeah,
because that's the important thing.
The prices for those microtransactions were not revealed to reviewers.
Yeah.
That whole thing was like not in there for the reviewers to find out. They knew there were microtransactions, but they didn't know the increments in which they go up to, which is up to $100.
Oh my goodness.
Well, and it's as far as we know, still it's all things you can just unlock in the game, correct?
Yes, you can
Yeah.
actually play through and be able to do this. They're time savers, is what they are. Although, honestly, given how slow the game loads,
He might just...
What in that game is worth $100?
I'm not exactly sure. Nothing.
I mean, the game itself was supposed to be worth 60, and clearly it isn't.
All right,
At
so
this point.
yeah, and you sent me and James something. You're like, I will never pre-order anything ever again until next year or something.
I
What'd you
said at
say?
a minimum next year. I'm done pre-ordering.
Why?
Just I probably should have been done a long time ago. It's just because it's just no point nowadays. There's just no point. I would rather just wait, see what it is. And I don't even really follow reviews just because a lot of times just because such and such doesn't like it. I mean, I still might like it. So
Well, I know there's like some things like I still pre-order, and I've gotten some flack from James about that. But like I know I'm gonna play Far Cry 4. I know I'm gonna enjoy that because I enjoy the other Far Cries. If I pre-order it, then I get like a little extra bonus DLC for free, which is kind of nice.
I mean, yeah, but that just, to me, it's not justifiable anymore. After this year alone, how many times has this happened? Like, this is more common than not now of games coming that are just not ready. I mean, this is what, number 6 this year?
Yeah, it's
Number 7?
Master Chief Halo Master Chief Collection had a day one patch and still had broken matchmaking.
Yeah.
When it released.
Not just broken, not playable.
Yeah.
I mean, you couldn't play it at all.
It's
And it's just-
actually this past week was very depressing.
Yeah.
Honestly, to think
that's-
about it, it's very depressing as far as the industry's concerned. As far as these high profile releases, I tell you, and I'm not supposed to tell you that I'm playing Talos Principle, but I don't care. People need to know that this game exists. Puzzle fans need to know this game exists.
Yeah, I'm excited.
That was my redeemer each day. It was like I get to go and play this fantastic puzzle game.
For a couple of minutes while you're waiting for Assassin's Creed to
Yeah,
load.
really. But it kind of washed away all the crap that I had to swim through in playing AC, and then hearing about the reviews, and then hearing about the embargo, and then hearing about Halo being just... I haven't even popped that in the system
And
yet.
honestly, that's what really made me mad. I saw the whole Unity thing, and I was just like, of course, this wasn't surprising. But then when I heard about the whole Master Chief Collection, I was like, really? Another one in the same week? I was like,
Yeah,
I'm
this
done.
was supposed to be their
I'm done.
high-profile thing. It's like,
Yeah.
yep.
And,
You're just trying to drop the ball.
It may get fixed. It'll probably get fixed. It might already be fixed, but it just annoys me. It just.
Yeah. Who was that? RG Gaming. I feel bad for people who scheduled off work for these broken games. I almost scheduled off for Halo. I'm so glad I didn't.
Well, and technically, Blizzard, forgetting their new expansion. That thing.
Draenor?
Yeah, Draenor.
Well, I mean, it
That-
probably would have had its usual launch day issues,
Now,
right?
it had a combination. For one, people were overloading the servers, obviously.
Right, yeah.
But at the same time, someone decided to launch a DDoS attack at them.
Oh, that's right. They did
Yep.
get hit.
So they were like, "Oh crap!" And all the servers were basically catching on fire. And then, but they've also been having other issues internally where people. My one friend sent me a picture. His queue time was 18 hours to log in, and after an hour and a half, he just quit because it literally went down to like 16 hours.
Wow.
So
We got to take a break, but I want to come back to your pre-order business, and I want to get into just other things with all this, and we gladly take your phone calls if you want to throw out your opinion. We've got a dump button here, which means we'll drop whatever profanity you throw. We don't want you to throw any profanity at all. It can be hard in these situations not to because they
You get emotional.
They warrant such language. I tell you, it's oh god, it's abysmal. Anyway, our number is 334-272-9228. We'll be back with more in-game chat in just a moment. Here is music from Broken Sword. This is
Wait, which Broken Sword?
I don't know.
Oh, there's 5 of them.
This track is called Ireland. Maybe that helps you. We'll be back in just a
The
moment.
first one, I think.
Ask her, Snort. And welcome back to In-Game Chat. That is music from... Does anybody know? Mega Man, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
That's right. It's always the answer. That is music from Brutal Legend.
Oh.
Spirit of Bladehenge is
Okay,
the name
yeah.
of that track.
Yeah, it's been a minute since I played that one.
Another game that's also on Steam that I have not played.
Yeah. I have it in my library. I played a little bit of it, but yeah.
I do want to get to the... I want to get back to Nathan's thing about not pre-ordering anymore. But we have somebody on the phone right now. If you will put them through, Nate, just press the button under the blinking one. There you go. It's W. Matthew on the line. Hey, man.
Hey,
How you doing?
I'm doing fine. I will talk about the AC Unity garbage, but there are 2 things I want to talk about first so they don't get lost in the shuffle here.
Yeah.
First, Tuesday, if you are a fan of strategy games at all, you should play Valkyria Chronicles.
Oh, yes. I did that on the PS3. Great game.
I have it for... Is it
Vita?
No, I have it for PS3.
Okay. No, it's also... The sequel is PSP. The first one came out on the PS3, then the sequel came out on the PSP.
Yeah, I have PS3.
Okay.
I have the PS3 version. I got it last Christmas or the Christmas before. And, man, I still haven't cracked it open. I am so bad about that. But I saw that it was released on Steam, and I've already put it in my wish list. And, yeah, that is something I really, really do want to play. So I'm glad you brought that up.
The PC port is excellent. There was the person that made the DS Fix mod for the original Dark Souls did a teardown of it on Eurogamer. It's like, yeah, it's a flawless PC port.
Wow.
Yeah. No, that's. Have you played it on PC yet, or have you put time in with it?
I am playing it now.
On PC?
I got it. I didn't on PC.
Okay,
I didn't
wonderful.
Have the
Good.
PS3 version. I'm playing it on PC. It is a really good, really tough strategy RPG.
But fun.
If you like, if you like Fire Emblem or Final Fantasy Tactics, you will enjoy this game.
Yeah, I think actually I'm going to keep my copy of that game sealed as it is right now. I think I'm going to keep it sealed.
That's a good idea.
For PS3 since it now is on PC and play it. That's one of those. I have not played it, but I have really, really wanted to. And I've just heard nothing but the highest recommendations of like you should really get in on this. So I'm glad you brought that to our attention. Thanks for the reminder.
The other thing, and I guess really quickly, PAX East tickets went on sale and sold out on Wednesday.
Well, the 3-day pass is sold out on Wednesday, and then the Saturday pass is sold out like Friday, I think. Thursday.
It sold out same day, a few hours later.
Oh, did they? The Saturday ones? So Friday and Sunday are the only ones that are available now.
I think those might, if they're not sold out, they're close to being sold out.
Now, is this something? Are you going to this?
Yeah.
Did you You went to PAX Prime though, didn't you?
Yeah, I did.
I really want to hit you for not trying to find me and let me know so we could at least meet, say hello, because I will not be able to make it. I will not be able to make it to PAX East. I am going to PAX South. Is there any chance you'll be doing that?
Nope. I am largely going to PAX East to meet up with friends. Okay. I went to PAX Prime by myself, and I'm going to PAX East to meet up with friends.
And East, that's
Boston.
Boston? Okay.
Yeah. I went to PAX. I went to the very first PAX East. I thought, if they keep doing this, that's great. But at least I'll be at this first one, and and maybe I can go back if for whatever reason.
What are the dates?
March 6th through the 8th. And given the last 2 years, I would not be surprised if there's another game announcement this year.
What did they announce last year?
Last year was Civ Beyond Earth. The year before was Hearthstone, and then actually the year before that was Transistor.
Yeah, no. I remember Civ Beyond Earth being the big reveal at PAX East. Yeah, I'm going to PAX South, and it'll be. By the way, tickets for PAX South still available.
It's January, right?
That's January, yeah. It's in San Antonio, Texas.
How big are the venues usually for PAX? I'm kind of surprised.
Well, it's interesting. They're the very first ones that they hold at these at the cities, like PAX East. The very first PAX East, they never went back to that venue. They have been at a different venue since the very first one. They've been at some other location that I think they're in contract with for like the next 5 years to be at that
10
location.
About 10 years. A couple of
10
years
years
ago, they signed a contract with the Boston Convention, with the city of Boston for the Boston Convention Center for 10 years.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was held someplace else for the very first one, and I can't remember where that was, but they moved to a bigger venue for that.
Yeah, it's like 100,000+ person convention center.
So the San Antonio one, I have no idea. I don't know anything about it, but that may be another situation where they're there for the first year, and then they're like, nope, we can't do it like that next year. We need to do something different.
I don't think so. It seems like that's going to be maybe a low-key event. It doesn't even seem like a lot of developers necessarily want to go to that either.
I know. It's feeling that's why I kind of said a little sheepishly. Is like, yeah, there's still some tickets for PAX South left, folks. I don't think there's just. When I was at PAX Prime and talking to people, I was like, I knew that I was going to PAX South, and I said, hey, you guys going to be at PAX South? They're like, we don't know, we don't know if we're going to be there or not. We don't really have anything to do. We don't really have anything to show. At
It's
that
somewhat
point in time.
bad timed. It probably,
Well, it's just right
I
after
don't-
the holidays, so everybody's been taking time off instead of
It's at the
polishing their games.
it's at the very end of January. So I really don't know, and it'll be interesting to have to go through and experience. It's always fun to experience PAX at a brand new place because nobody really has their stuff together, and it's always fun to see how things just aren't as coordinated, which is great. Actually, I love that fact because everybody's open to whatever happens type situation where it's like, come on in. We'll talk about that then. Sure. They just don't care.
I'll say this: if you want to see the enforcers suffer, go check out a panel like the Giant Bomb panel. Trying to manage people for that and for like the 3 hours prior to it is insane.
Now, were you able to get the 3 days, or did you have to buy individual days?
I got 3 days. A bunch of a few of my friends also got 3 days, and a few had to buy individual days.
Yeah. That's how it's been for me for PAX for a while. PAX Prime, I can only ever get individual days, and then PAX South.
That was me for.
Yeah, PAX South. I think I was able to get in the 3 day passes on that one, just because they were the demand for that just wasn't there.
Yeah, that was me at PAX Prime. I had to buy individual days.
Let me ask you: will you be going back to PAX Prime next year, 2015? Will you go to Prime?
Because I would if I wasn't going to PAX East.
Right. See, that's my problem. E3 and PAX Prime. The year that I went to PAX in Boston was the same year I did not go to PAX in Seattle. I could only really do the two.
Yeah,
and
honestly, if I could, again, this is kind of a discussion in of itself, but E3 is becoming less and less relevant, and PAX is kind of replacing it.
Yeah, I still love going to E3. I still love being in that environment. I will say this for my personal taste, it gives me much more one-on-one time with people who make the games than I get at PAX. Which, with the exception of the PAX 10 and the Indie Mega Booths at both E3 and PAX, those are great opportunities. But at PAX, I only get a short amount of time with these guys because they've got such a long line. They have to man their own booth and everything else.
I was going to say...
Yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say, I'm actually surprised you even buy PAX passes, period. If you qualify as media for E3, you would almost certainly qualify as media for PAX.
Wouldn't you? You'd think that, wouldn't you? You sure would think that, wouldn't you?
Funny thing about that.
Yeah, that doesn't always work out that way. So that's the reason I buy my tickets, is because I want to make sure that I have my tickets to go.
Yeah.
I will apply. See, here's the thing. PAX tickets run out very fast. The press badge registration only does not open until after the PAX tickets go on sale.
Yeah.
So
I take that risk.
I don't take that risk. I go ahead and get them, and if I don't need them, they're easy to sell. They are easy to get rid of, either profit or no, and it's always been face value for me. But most of the time, I can find somebody who's already going to be there, and they're like, "Hey, I got tickets, but my buddies didn't. Could you please sell them?" And I'm like, "Sure, whatever." They've been easy to get rid of if I got access.
Yeah, I was going to say, because I know that the media pass requirement is not as strict for PAX as it is for E3. And even a lot of people that can get media passes for E3 and PAX would rather go to PAX because they can do what they need to do at PAX and they can't do it at E3. Total Biscuit has talked about this a lot. He could go to PAX and get footage of every game he wants. He can't get basically any footage at E3. It's why he doesn't go.
Yeah, again, it's going to vary by experience from everybody who does go. For me, I have, like I said, look, you can see at our YouTube channel, which wasn't very much that I was able to get out. It was about 10 videos or so. I had 10 videos for my E3 trip. I had none for my PAX trip. There is just, for me, there is better access to the people making the games. There's better access for me at E3 than there is at PAX. I think because at PAX they have a whole lot more people to deal with than they do at E3, and so and again, E3 is for for press only anyway, and so they're there to talk to you so you can get out the word about the game. PAX is not that way. PAX is there for the people, the consumers, the customers, the those, not for the press. I mean, the press gets something out of it, but PAX is for those other people, and the developers and everybody, the publishers, everybody there is catering to them. I will tell you this: press easily take a back seat to the long lines of people trying to get in and play those games, and that's perfectly okay with me.
That is true, but also from what I have heard from a lot of different YouTubers is that a lot more developers are willing to let them actually record footage at PAX versus E3.
That's probably the case. You're probably exactly right, only for the fact that E3 is just very tight. At E3, you have to have your picture ID with you to get inside each day. Well, not even each day. They have the South Hall and they have the West Hall. And anytime you go into either of those halls, you have to have your badge that has your name on it, and then you have to have photo identification to go along with that. You don't have to do that at PAX.
PAX is just...
You have to do that yet. I'm not sure that they'll change that yet, but yeah, PAX, you just have your badge, you go in, do everything. E3, it's very... they're really closed on that thing as far as... I wish E3 would move. I can't stand Los Angeles.
I wish it'd come back to Atlanta.
That's not going to happen.
I know, but it was nice. My first E3.
It's very convenient for us.
Yeah, and that's what counts,
that's why it
right?
should happen.
Right? No. I would like them to either go to Vegas or go to San Diego.
Vegas would be nice.
Something that's bigger than what they're doing. That can. God, I hate LA. Anyway, okay. So PAX out of the way, and
onto the Ubisoft stuff.
Did you play? Have you played Unity, or do you just have opinions on
No,
this?
I have not. Total Biscuit did a video called "Let's Not Play," and it was because he could not actually capture consistent video of that game. He took what he had, what he could catch from all the crashes, and put it together. The game is, if you think it's bad on consoles, apparently it's exponentially worse on PC.
Yeah, it's horrible on PC. I've heard nothing but horror stories pretty much everywhere, but you get the most out of horror stories coming from the PC folks who are trying to get that system optimized, or their system optimized to play it correctly, which it is not done. Mm-hmm. I know Total Biscuit has a massive rig, something that we could only ever dream of getting, and his can barely keep up with it.
He was hitting 45.
Yeah.
At highs.
45 frames per second?
Yeah.
Man.
And it is crap. It is total crap. And it's hard to support them.
I'm starting to go the route of what Forbes said either today or earlier this week. They basically released an article and basically said PC players should just not buy Ubisoft stuff. Just assume it's going to be broken when it comes out, because that's their history.
Yeah, well, that is their history with PC games. I will give you that. But at this point, with what they did with Unity on the consoles and the review embargoes, I would say, hey, you need to... I would say move that into the realm of just all of their ports and stuff. Not for consoles and not for PCs. Just don't buy their stuff. But that's just not going to happen, obviously. But
I'm going to say this, and I'm sorry, but I have to totally agree with Total Biscuit on here, with very, very, very limited exception, and I mean very limited. Do not pre-order. Just don't. It is stupid. It is moronic. How many times this year alone, how many times in the last 3 months alone have we had basically bad games on this? Just don't do it.
Okay. I kind of agree with you. Well, here you said there were exceptions. Here's my exceptions. For the most part, I don't pre-order games. I really don't. Normally, mainly because I'm playing most of them on PC, and I have no reason to pre-order a game on a PC. They're not going to sell out.
The only reason to pre-order on the PC is just, like I said, with DLC extras for free.
Right, you get some of that stuff free.
Extras also that
But the game you're connecting it to is a Ubisoft game, and even Far Cry 3 didn't run amazingly well on PC, so you're kind of playing with fire there.
Right. No, I agree when it's a Ubisoft game, but the situation that I'm in and the reason that I'll continue to pre-order. And by the way, when I say pre-order, I'm pre-ordering maybe a day before the game releases. That's about as good as it gets for me with the pre-orders. Last week we talked about the Best Buy's little Gamers Club Unlocked membership thing. There are select games where if I pre-order them, regardless of when I pre-order them, if they just do it before the game releases, I will get $10 back in credit, which is fine for me. I'm already getting 20% off the price of the game itself, so I'll get $10 back on a pre-order. This is the only reason this is why I pre-ordered Unity, but I did it the day before. It's also the reason I pre-ordered Halo Master Chief Collection, again, the day before. I will go back tonight and I will pre-order Far Cry 4. However, when I go to pick up Far Cry 4, I will be turning in my copy of Unity. Here, take this back, and I'll get I get a credit on that for like $44. Far Cry 4 already cost me $47, right? Mm-hmm. So I owe them like $3. So this is my new way of renting games. Yeah, basically.
Which system are you getting it on?
Far Cry 4?
Yeah.
I'm going to go and read some of the reviews. And
you haven't decided yet?
Check those real quick, but probably PS4.
Okay.
I would really like to try out that little have your buddy play for an hour or whatever it is with the keys.
Yeah, there's a lot of rumors.
Whatever that is, I can't remember.
The PC version being fairly bad.
Well, see,
I don't want to hear that.
The other problem with this is that because I'm doing this trade-in policy, it's forced me to buy physical.
Yeah.
On some of these titles, so it's hard for me to get on the PC bandwagon again, which is fine. I'm okay if it's all saving money. Especially look at how Unity turned out, man.
Yeah.
I mean, like, that kind of gets into the point. There are so many other good games that are out and have come out and, frankly, are coming out. Like, again, I rarely pre-order, but I have no problem necessarily pre-ordering Smash Brothers because the same guy has made the last 3 of them, actually the last 4 when you include the 3DS version, and they've all been amazing games.
You kind of know what you're getting with that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, same reason I pre-ordered Rebirth on the PC, just because I knew what I was getting into from the beginning. You know, there's still that chance it could be a total dog. It's not likely.
Right. I mean, like I said, there are, like he said, like W. Matthew said, there are exceptions to that rule of not pre-ordering. Mm-hmm. My God, if
there are just not many.
Yeah, if Criterion were to put out a Burnout game, I'd be all over that pre-order. But you know what? No, I can't say that I would. If there were incentives,
not anymore. Most of that studio has been gutted.
I know. So. It makes me really nervous about whatever it is they're doing over there. It was shown off at E3. Not much of anything was shown off, but
also even with say Smash Brothers, for example, right? I got to play that game at PAX. Like, even if most of the other stuff didn't work, I knew already the core stuff worked because I got to play it already.
That's an interesting point you bring up. It kind of takes me back to it doesn't take me back to Watch Dogs. What it takes me back is that in all of my time at E3 and then at PAX Prime, I did not see any stations available where you could play Assassin's Creed Unity.
See, I miss the days of when they would release demos before the games. That way you get a feel
developer. I'm going to say this: developers.
Demos
because it's bad business.
I had a behind closed door session at PAX for Rogue and for Unity.
Mm-hmm.
And these are obviously you're put in there and they're going to show you what they want to show you.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're going to take you down the path that they want to take you down. What they are showing you is something that has been optimized and done specifically for what they're doing because they are showing it to press and stuff like that. So I don't really take away much from behind closed door sessions. I actually don't like them because that's too much of a controlled environment for them.
But it is a way to kind of get an idea of what they're going for.
Right, but I still wanted to see it. I mean, because, again, I was still coming at it as a fan.
Mm-hmm.
So I still wanted to see it. And that takes me to what STM Fuller was saying. They sat me down for Assassin's Creed Unity, and the lady there was telling me oh, we have all these customization options. You will not have assassins looking alike. Look at all this stuff. I was like, oh, yeah, wow, that's a lot. She said, oh, there's over 98 hoods for your character. And there's over 100 different swords that you can have and all these different things. I was like, God, that's a bunch.
For an extra $100.
Well, and I said, oh, you can unlock these with the microtransactions. And she said, we are not here to talk about microtransactions today. We're only here to talk about the co-op of the game. I said, okay, well, I mean, microtransactions is not a bad word or anything. I said, it's fine. I'm not going to go out there and be like, microtransactions
It's clearly not
in your
bad
game. It's
because
horrible.
they're putting it in the friggin' game.
I was like, yeah, I mean, seriously, microtransactions aren't to me, they aren't a bad word.
Yeah.
Depending on how you use them.
Yeah, that's the thing, is their implementation is what determines whether
But
they're
it's also
valid.
kind of QuickTime event in that regard. It's like, yeah, it can be done, but 99 times out of 100, it usually is bad.
I would say that. I would say that, yes, it is. I just knew that as soon as I mentioned it to her,
And she shut you down so quickly?
her thought immediately was, don't let him go down that path. Do not let him go down the microtransactions path. You have nothing to say about it. So she was... See, this is the weird thing. The studio was taking it as a bad word. I wasn't there to condemn them for having microtransactions, but as soon as I brought it up, she wanted to change that subject so fast. Mm-hmm. Because for her, it was a bad word. It was something that company did not want to talk about. So anyway. We're up to our next break, W. Matthew. We appreciate you calling in, man.
Yeah, thanks.
Thank you.
And we will talk to you again. Have a great weekend. We'll talk to you again. Hopefully, we'll talk to you again next week when you call in. Anyway, that is going to do it for this break. We're going to come back with our final segment here of In-Game Chat in just a moment. Here is music from Dust, an Elysian Tale. This is called Deities. We'll be right back with more In-Game Chat in just a moment. And welcome back to In-Game Chats. That is music from Mega Man. It's not. But I figured, might as well keep that joke going for the rest of the show. No, that is FTL. Song or track called Federation is the name of that track. Again, thank you to Daniel Phelps and to Gersnort for sending in those tracks. In fact, when we talked about this, I believe it was Mosgus, whatever. I already mispronounced it.
You got it right the first time.
I know, and I can't remember what I said. Mosgus, he sent us like 50 tracks. I got a lot of work for next week.
Good for him.
In between the work that I normally do every day in and day out here at the station. So we should be good on music for a good while. So thank you very much. RJ brought some tracks as well. I've still yet to get those in. So we've got a lot of new tracks.
Until Christmas, sorry.
We're good, and of course we'll do our Christmas, not our Christmas episode, but we'll do our Christmas music show where all the bumper cuts will be video game Christmas music.
Yeah, I got something to bring for you for that too.
Good, because there's not much for me to pick from, so I'm glad you're going to be bringing some of that in. I've got the stuff we used last year, but It's a little small selection there for Christmas music and video games. Anyway, we've only got about 20 more minutes, and I kind of want to get off the hate train of Ubisoft here and move into, I don't know, something a little bit more jovial than that. Does anybody have anything?
Well, we have Just Cause 3 being announced.
Just Cause 3 was announced, and it was announced without microtransactions, I believe.
Yeah, because there was like some speculation. They said something about it being something like a full paid game in the initial announcement. People were like, what does that mean? Could it be? Because we've gotten to the point where it's like we have to be just absolutely looking with like a crooked eye at every announcement from a marketing firm.
Well, you do
Because it's just like, what's this word mean? What do you mean by that? What's the definition of the word is? You know, I mean, it's just.
I would still, and I'm not so sure that it still doesn't hold true.
Yeah, I mean, but it is. It just kind of sucks that it is that way. That we have to like, kind of give it like this bit of a stink eye to see what they're really saying. Yeah. But they both the developer and the publisher, Square Enix, have said, no, we're not putting microtransactions in this at all. It is full game. You're not going to get additional charges after the fact.
That's what they're saying now. I am, I take a James stance on this. Mm-hmm. When it releases, that's when I know what the truth is.
Yeah.
As far as those things are concerned. I look forward to it. I mean, it's Just Cause 3. Again, here I am being a Debbie Downer on the whole thing.
Yeah, but 2 is a lot of fun. So hopefully
2 was a lot of fun.
This will be in that vein.
And I hope that they can carry that over into 3.
Mm-hmm.
Would the mods make it better, though? Just Cause 2?
The mods did make it better.
Yeah, so every time I hear Just Cause, I think about...
the Superman mod.
Yeah, but those mods were only available on PC.
Yeah.
And people still had a lot of fun with them, had a lot of fun with that game on console. PC was really where you needed to go just because of those different things you could do with the, tweaking it and making it look really, really good, by the way. That was always fun to do when you built a new machine. When I built the new machine, it wasn't this recent machine, it was the machine before that I built. It was like, okay, let me go get Just Cause, max, and then just go through the whole thing and have fun with it. So there was that aspect that you could do with it too. And I really hope it carries over into Just Cause 3. I hope for a lot of things. I'm always hopeful about it. I'm just skeptical when someone blatantly says that we are doing this or we aren't doing that. You know, I'm like, that's okay. Just give me screenshots or give me video, which is not something else to be trusted. And then release it. Give me information or release your game, and then that's when I'll make my decision. Because otherwise, it's just been a horrible week, man. For day one patches for games, the games that are broken even after day one patches, it's just been. It makes me, oddly enough, want to go back to Destiny. I know.
I've been wanting to play Crucible. I've been wanting to go back.
I know Iron Banner. I think launches this week. The new Iron Banner launches this week. But whatever, I'll be playing Far Cry 4. And I may jump into Dragon Age Inquisition as well.
Let me know when you're playing that, because we could try the invite thing. When that's
I would like to do that. I would like to try how that whole situation works
Isn't the
out.
invite thing for Far Cry 4? It's been a minute since.
It's limited to like an hour or 2 hours of play.
I think it's 2. Let me check.
And isn't it like you're on a? What is it? It's kind of like a gyrocopter assisting them, or is that just like being in co-op in general?
That may have been just for the selection that they showed off.
Okay.
I can't remember. My mic's being weird again. Sorry about this, folks.
Yeah, I mean, aside from that, it's people who are like actually taking steps they see as necessary. Bloodborne got delayed for another month and a half, or Blood Souls, as some people like to call it.
I as much as it pains me sometimes for a game that you're really looking forward to coming out gets delayed. You're like, oh man, I really want to be playing that. I kind of respect that in a way because that's them admitting it's not ready yet.
Well, yeah,
I'd much rather have that.
In particular, Arkham Knight comes to mind.
I would love to be playing Arkham Knight now.
Yeah, what if Arkham Knight came out and we had the same problems Unity is having now?
Yes,
it's then it's unplayable.
Yes, you got the lesser two evils. Do you delay it or you release garbage?
Yeah,
one of the two.
Well, now that we've been given this just unequivocal proof of what something can really, what a nice top tier big blockbuster title as such as Assassin's Creed can do when it's really. I don't think there was any issue with Call of Duty, by the way.
Oh, the Advanced Warfighter?
I don't think there was any problems day one on that thing. I think they had everything working pretty good.
Yeah.
Which it's odd to look at them and be like, "Hey, good job, fellas, way to go."
Now, if Unity wasn't broken, you would probably be loving it right now, right? You'd probably just really.
I would probably. It would give. It, I would have been further into the story, I think, than what I am now, just because of the loading issues and just. Oh God, I don't know if all the bugs were good, the frame rate was nice, and the pop ins were okay, and everything was all right.
See, I mean,
I don't know what I would have to say about it. Probably, I would be like, "Hey, I'm not that
better.
far in, but I'm liking what I'm doing."
Yeah, see, and that's a shame that it's a series that you really like and that you've enjoyed, and that this is what's reduced you down.
The
to.
first assassination that I had to do, which is obviously the only assassination that I've done so far, where you had that main target to go kill, I loved it. It's from the video that went around pre-release, where it had the developer commentary and stuff, where you had.
Is that like going through inside the palace and like
you had one target,
co-ops?
but you could do a couple of different ways. You could go about it a couple of different ways.
Was it at like the guillotine? Is that the one I'm thinking?
No,
of? Okay,
no.
Must be something else. Then.
That was just like a trailer.
Okay.
That wasn't gameplay.
Yeah, but the first assassination I did, I loved how that was carried out. I enjoyed the aspect, although I had a ton of problems going through that whole thing. If I could take away the bugs of the crowd and everything else that I had to deal with, all the bugs that the frame rate drops and stuff, if I could take away all that, the whole act of what I had to do, that was good. That felt like old good Assassin's Creed. Sneak in there, do not get caught, assassinate him, get out, do not get caught. Which is exactly what Assassin's Creed 1 was all about. Sneak in, kill, get away.
Yeah,
it's still the best one.
You had to go see Assassin's Creed. You had to go and like sit in the crowd and listen to these two people talking, so that you could gather intel.
Yeah.
That wasn't necessarily the case here, but I could do it a number of different ways. I could charge in through the church, and take out the guards and alert all these people, and then finally kill him that way. Or I could tail this guy who had some keys that I could steal.
Okay, yeah, I know which assassination.
Or I could go over here and tail this other guy who had some information about where he was going to be and all this other information, and it just sort of eliminated the problems that I was going to have to face.
If this is the one I'm thinking of, you can go into like a confessional booth and get
which is exactly what I did. Yeah.
Okay.
Didn't have to do that. I didn't have to kill him that way. I could have just stood over him above and done an air assassination. Alerted everybody around me. I could have done it that way.
Mm-hmm.
But because I was having a hard time controlling my character, he actually got into the booth before I could do that. Seriously, I hit the button to assassinate him, and my guy did a dive into a hay bale instead of doing the air assassination. I was like, okay, whatever. Hopped back out. I walked in, did the confessional kill, which was really great. I loved how that was carried out. I don't necessarily know that the rest of those are going to carry out that way because I haven't gotten to it, and I don't know that I will. It takes too long.
Yeah, it'll be a shame if that is the most refined methods they have there.
Yeah.
Is just in that particular assassination.
Yeah. So.
Hey, so with the Far Cry 4, back to that.
Yeah. No. Go ahead.
So it says the sender will receive 10 keys to Kyrat, whatever it is. I guess that's the land.
The area. Yeah.
Which
location.
he can send to 10 PSN friends of his choice. The friend will receive a single unique key, allowing him to download the PSN trial version. Let's see. For a limited time, each person can play. It doesn't say.
I think it's like an hour or 2 hours.
Like an hour or two, yeah. And it says any XP, loot, or in-game collectibles that the friend earns will be saved if they buy the game.
Okay.
So anything you earn.
Yeah. And so you're not getting Far Cry 4?
Not
immediately.
Yeah.
Okay. Good. Then we'll do that. We'll make that happen then. So we can have something to say about it on next week's episode. So
sounds good.
And yeah, I'll pre-order it because I get the $10 back, but I'm only going to pre-order it like tonight or Monday.
Yeah.
That's when I'll put in my pre-order for it, so I can get the $10 back on that. Which I love the Gamers Club Unlocked thing. It's really been beneficial.
Yeah.
It's about to get even more beneficial with Black Friday coming up because the 20% off is going to work on all these games that are on sale.
Yep.
What are you looking to pick up out of that? I know you've been looking.
I need to look. I haven't really decided.
I'm actually looking into Diablo 3.
For the console,
Reaper of
PS4?
Souls, yeah,
Or Xbox One?
for PS4. I got a couple of friends I see popping on there playing it, and I've played it on PC, but it's going to be like $20 for me on PS4.
I need to look at that list that I showed you, which I'll post that in chat.
That's not at all bad, considering that you can't do cross-platform at all.
No.
It is just within your own ecosystem.
Yeah. And but thinking about it, I don't know that I'm going to, but it's one that I kind of put on my list to like keep an eye out for. If I decide to do it or not, I may not. But it's just a ton. I was trying to find a good Wii U bundle, but the one that Best Buy has is not a good bundle.
Really, what do they have?
It's a Wii U with Nintendo Land.
Okay, yeah, that's
and
basically
Super Mario Brothers 3D World or whatever.
Okay, I haven't tried 3D World at all.
Yeah,
so I have no idea.
But you also get Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze.
Okay,
and I think you also get Smash Brothers.
I'll say Smash Brothers probably worth it by itself,
but it's for like $350.
How much is that compared to the regular just Wii U?
I can buy a refurbed Wii U from Nintendo that is like new for $200.
And I'll say, and then get a game, and that's $250 roughly.
Have you gone back on that Google Docs thing I sent you?
No.
There's a ton more things on here.
Oh no, I'm sure there is.
The one actually, now me looking through the one that I was somewhat interested was, wow, it just left me. Wolfenstein.
Oh yes, the New Order.
Yeah, I never played that. So
oh, good. Yeah, good. That's it. What is the price on that one? Like $20, $25?
I believe so.
Well, if it's $25, and then you've got your Gamers Club Unlocked stuff, if we're talking about Best Buy, that'll knock it down to $20, because you get 20% off.
Yep, $25 at Best Buy.
Yeah, so you're going to get it for $20 if that's where you want to pick it up at.
Yeah, that'd be excellent for you if you've never played it before. Really good.
I'm downloading it now for my Steam.
Yeah.
Because I didn't get a chance to play it when it came out.
I played James's copy, because we do the share thing through Steam, so I played his copy and enjoyed it very much. That's really good. I'm glad you'll get a chance to play that. Speaking of, what are we playing next week? I know that Nate and I just talked about Far Cry 4, but Dennis, what's more Rebirth? Sorry,
more Rebirth. I
will remember just to not.
Well, I picked up Final Fantasy VI on Android, which was Final Fantasy 3 on Super Nintendo. One of the podcasts I listen to is kind of doing a book club type review of that game.
Okay,
so I'm going back through that.
Yeah.
That's about it for me.
What about you there, Matt?
I'm going to start to...
You're going out of town, though, aren't you?
Yeah.
When are you leaving?
Tuesday.
Oh, okay.
So...
What will you do when you go home tonight, and what will you play tomorrow? Basically...
most likely Borderlands pre-sequel.
Okay. What are you playing that on, PC?
Yeah.
You said? Okay.
That, man, I got the new Gabriel Knight remastered, and I love that game. And I'm curious to see how the new game looks with the new graphics and everything. So I'll probably give that a spin too.
RJ, what about you?
I'll probably be finishing off Dead Space 3. More Ultra Street Fighter 4. Probably throw some Virtua Fighter 5 in there with it, and I'll start playing The Evil Within on PS3.
All right. Anybody going other than, I know James is, and he's not here to say so, but anybody going for Dragon Age next week?
Nah, not particularly.
Yeah, okay, nobody.
It's
playing it by myself. I'm thinking about it. Yeah, it got really good reviews. I tried to play Dragon Age 2, and I got a decent ways into it.
I played that one.
And then stopped I can't remember for what reason.
Probably got tired of it, like I did, and I know James did also.
Yeah.
I stopped the swamp.
But yeah, I'm kind of looking into that. I have Far Cry 4, so I don't know. I may hold off on it. It is not one that came with like a $10 cashback thing.
Far Cry or
Dragon Age.
Okay.
Was not on the list of something that you would get anything out of. So I don't know. I may let James play it and get his opinion of it. And,
yeah, because it's not something I can just.
But the reviews have been
now.
It's gotten really good reviews.
Yeah.
It's got a multiplayer component to it, but I don't know. He hasn't decided yet. He may have. I haven't talked to him. He hasn't decided where he'd be getting that game, if it's going to be on PC or if it's going to be console. I think he's probably leaning more towards console because he knows that he can trade it in through me and get that back. So we already did that. I already took his copy of Destiny in.
What'd you get for it?
Man, if we had done it one day earlier during that 50% hike, they had a 50% hike where he would have gotten $40.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he would have gotten $40. We missed it, and he got $23.
Wow.
We missed it by one day because I was also considering doing it with my copy of Destiny. I was like, that's a really good trade-in value. So yeah, he would have gotten $40 back, but he got $23, which is still okay. It knocks again. The copy of the game is going to cost him $47 with that discount that we get. So knock 23 off of that. So he's going to pay around $20 for a copy of the game. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
So anyway, I think that's going to do it for us. I'm going to get one more shot of the chat room here and say thanks for everybody who joined us. Darkslayer 44, Grazit, Lavos, Popo U, Tactus 59, Chargers 3158, W Matthew, thanks for the call in as well. Jamie 96. Arioka, AC Wraith, Forbidden Soul, Mozgus, STM Fuller, I'll never get it right ever again, Multile, and G Neptune. We want to thank everybody for joining us in the chat room, and thanks everybody for listening as well. We really do appreciate it. Everybody who grabs us each week from iTunes or however you get our show for later use, we also appreciate that. Head over to ingamechat.net. You can join us on Twitter, Facebook, our forums at colonyofgamers.com. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, and if you're on Steam, we've got a Steam group you can join up with over there and play games with us and other listeners. I want to thank you guys for joining us at our new time. This is where we're going to be from now on, 4 to 6 Central Time every Saturday. Thanks, everybody. Have a great week. We will see you next Saturday. Here's music from Monaco. This is called Prison Life.